Hello, my lovelies. I am Ancient Swan, and this is a video about Jomsborg, and let's not waste time shooting the shit and just jump right in. Jomsborg was an almost mythical, legendary Viking stronghold that existed on the southern Baltic Sea coast between the 960s and 1043 AD. It was home to the Jomsvikings, a renowned order of Viking mercenaries celebrated for their military prowess, discipline, and strict code of conduct. While the exact location of Jomsborg remains shrouded in mystery, there is much evidence to suggest it could have been near the present-day town of Wolin, Poland. Picture a fortress built by people who looked at the phrase DIY and said, "Let's do it while drunk and shouting." Jomsborg was a Viking paradise, if your idea of paradise involves endless battles, screaming, an excessive amount of beard, and a bloke with an axe who hasn't bathed since Odin invented rain. These Jomsvikings were an elite group of warriors bound by a strict code that governed their behavior and ensured loyalty to their brethren. Joining the club wasn't easy. Membership was highly selective. They made you prove yourself by feats of strength like lifting a boulder, violent duels, sitting next to Bjorn without gagging, and probably also the ability to outdrink Thor himself. This was like the world's angriest Airbnb for people who think that throwing knives is a personality trait. Once accepted, members were expected to adhere to a rigid lifestyle, refraining from personal vendettas and focusing solely on their duties as soldiers, and absolutely no complaining. So if you stubbed your toe, you'd better just shut the fuck up and go pillage a monastery about it. Their leader was the ultimate Viking drill sergeant. Imagine a buff, intimidating man with a booming voice, probably yelling things like, "No woman allowed," and "We're late for pillaging." But these warriors were not bound to serve any single leader, nor were they exclusively loyal to Norse rulers. Despite their tough exterior, they were surprisingly business savvy. The Jomsvikings didn't fight for gods or glory alone, they fought for gold. If a king could pony up the cash, the Jomsvikings were on board, Norse gods be darned. They'd even fight for Christians, which, in Viking circles, was very, very uncouth. What made Jomsborg unique was its organizational structure and the community of warriors it fostered. Jomsborg itself was a Viking city where you had a bunch of rowdy warriors slamming mead and talking trash about sea monsters. The place came equipped with formidable defenses, including tall walls and fortified gates, allowing its inhabitants to withstand enemy attacks. It served not only as a base for the Jomsvikings, but also as a hub for trade and strategic operations. The warriors stationed there were skilled sailors and navigators, enabling them to maintain control over key trade routes in the Baltic Sea region. Much of what we know of the Jomsvikings came from the Icelandic sagas, including King Olaf Tryggvason's saga. The sagas depict the Jomsvikings as fearless fighters who played a pivotal role in various battles, such as the Battle of Hjörungavágr, where they showed up fashionably late. And really, how could anyone be expected to arrive on time when you're looking for a place called Hjörungavágr? But they did arrive, swinging axes and yelling, "We're here to make history," or at least a lot of noise, before they clashed with Norwegian forces. The Jomsvikings fought like lunatics, either because of their belief in Norse gods or because they'd run out of mead and needed something to do. And here they played an important role in the unification of Norway. But as epic as they were, they couldn't dodge reality forever. The fall of Jomsborg is often attributed to King Magnus the Good of Norway, who reportedly destroyed the stronghold in AD 1043. Maybe he was jealous of their beards, we'll never know. However, the lack of concrete archaeological evidence leaves the truth of Jomsborg open to speculation. Today, it remains an enigmatic part of Viking history. Jomsborg is proof that even Vikings had their own brand of ridiculousness. They were terrifying, sure, but also hilariously bonkers. If you've ever felt like you're not doing well in life, just remember, at least you didn't have to pass a Viking boulder lifting contest to make friends. Or maybe you did, I don't know, good for you, I suppose. What's it like now? Is it nice having friends? Anyway, enough of that. Much of the footage you've seen in this video is from a map which I made, this one for the Game Cities Skylines 2, because I'm addicted and I don't know if I ever will stop. I'm so sorry. If you'd also like to play on this map, you can find it in the link in the description below. As for the map information, well, here it is. Climate ranges from -3 to 19 degrees Celsius. Buildable area, 68%. Outside connections include roads, rail, sea and air, and yes, power too. Now for natural resources, we've got wheat covering 165 square kilometers, forest at 102 kilotons or at 105 kilotons, and oil at 85.7 kilotons. Terrain, not as flat as it looks, with many small hills. And that's it, ladies and gentle ladies. That has been us, and that has been Jomsborg, a place where hairy men let their hair down, traded stuff they'd nicked, sang songs, fought rituals, and got absolutely shit-faced before jumping on a boat and f***ing off into the distance so they could pillage someone somewhere far, far away. A romantic tale as old as time. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're still here, and shout out to Melissa Y, Anthony T, George H, and Dee Dee, because they are lovely and I love them. That's it for now. Peace, love, and Jomsborg. Goodbye!